One crew member has tested positive aboard a Quantum Ultra class ship for Royal Caribbean, leading an entire cruise to be instantly canceled, as well as the subsequent itineraries over the next 21 days. What the heck is going on? A major cruise line CEO has come out and said it's time to take your thinking beyond the pandemic and focus on the future of cruising. The Royal Caribbean Group is set to launch the very first ever hybrid-powered cruise ship. Plus, we take a look at some of the festivities that happened yesterday on board the Carnival Mardi Gras. And I provide an update to you on the famous Bacon Gate aboard Carnival Cruise Line. All this coming up on Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Well, I want to start by giving you an update on something that we talked about a few months ago, and that was Carnival Cruise Line's Bacon Gate, the crisis where the cruise line could not get enough bacon on board their ships, so they're having to serve it every other day. So I'm going to give you an update on the current stance of Bacon Gate, but I want to flash back to an article from Travel Pulse that was written back in August by Richard Tomaselli. Cruise line dealing with bacon shortage. No bacon, not today at least. Come back tomorrow. That's the message that Carnival Cruise Lines has had to deliver to their passengers as the company is suffering through a temporary bacon shortage, forcing it to serve the breakfast treat every other day instead of daily. Carnival's brand ambassador John Heald said suppliers who service the cruise industry are facing challenges sourcing bacon for their ships. And I did some more investigating while I was aboard the Carnival Elation last week, and I can indeed verify that Bacon Gate is still an ongoing problem for Carnival Cruise Line. So if you're cruising in the near future aboard Carnival, expect to have bacon only every other day, so plan accordingly. So just this past Thursday, Royal Caribbean canceled an entire cruise because of one COVID case that occurred on board. Let's read this story because it's kind of bizarre. From cruisehive.com by Robert McGilvray. Royal Caribbean forced to cancel Spectrum of the Seas cruise. After Spectrum of the Seas just recently resumed operations in Hong Kong, Royal Caribbean was forced to cancel the October 21st sailing for the ship, and this cancellation will now steamroll as local authorities have now blocked Spectrum of the Seas from sailing for 21 days. Despite rigorous testing procedures, vaccine mandates, and extensive health and safety measures on board, one crew member was found to be positive for COVID-19 on October 22nd. It became clear that the crew member had tested negative in subsequent tests performed by local hospitals. Despite these facts, the Hong Kong government did not permit the cruise to go ahead after all. Spectrum of the Seas was scheduled to resume in July, but has seen numerous delays since then. The crew member, who was fully vaccinated and had been infected with the disease before in July of this year, tested positive for COVID with very low viral loads during routine testing on board the vessel. The 40-year-old crew member was brought ashore for further tests. 1,000 out of the 1,200 guests on the sailing had already boarded and were told by the captain that Royal Caribbean was canceling the cruise and all guests would now have to undergo compulsory testing. The crew member, who was asymptomatic, was immediately quarantined and was closely monitored by Royal Caribbean's medical team. As it stands now, the crew member has tested negative in subsequent tests at a local hospital. So just imagine if every time anybody coughed or sniffled aboard a cruise ship, if the entire cruise was shut down and the subsequent cruises after that for the next 3 weeks were totally canceled. What an absolutely wild story coming out of Hong Kong. Now, yesterday we showed you just a little peek inside of the Carnival Mardi Gras during her christening ceremony. Now there's even more fantastic photos and stories coming out from what happened inside Mardi Gras out at Port Canaveral just yesterday. Let's learn a little bit more from TravelPulse.com by Richard Tomaselli. With Shaq on board, Carnival christens Mardi Gras cruise ship. And there is a photo of the extremely tall gentleman. With a party befitting its name, the Carnival Cruise Line ship Mardi Gras was christened on Saturday in the first naming ceremony held in the United States since the industry's restart earlier this summer. And the big, emphasis on big, attraction aside from the vessel was Carnival's chief fun officer. And that would of course be the 7'4" retired basketball star turned entrepreneur Shaquille O'Neal, who cut the ribbon on his very first Shaq's Big Chicken restaurant at sea that debuted aboard the Mardi Gras when operations began on July 31st. In addition, Miss Universe Kimberly Jimenez served as the ship's godmother and officially named the vessel. The event featured a World of Nations flag procession to highlight the diversity of all 120 nationalities of Carnival crew members who work aboard the ship. Mardi Gras is the first cruise ship powered by eco-friendly liquefied natural gas, and she's filled to the brim with bells and whistles you would expect from a modern vessel, as well as some very unique ones like Bolt, the very first roller coaster at sea. So if you've already sailed aboard the Mardi Gras, technically, you have to sail aboard her again to have officially sailed aboard Carnival Mardi Gras, since she's only been christened for about 24 hours now. That sounds like a pretty good excuse to book another cruise if you ask me. Now, speaking of cruise ships running off alternative power sources, we can't overlook Royal Caribbean Group and their work into building the very first ever hybrid-powered cruise ship. From CruiseHive.com by Robert McGilvery, Royal Caribbean Group to launch first ever hybrid-powered cruise ship. Marking its debut for summer of 2023, Royal Caribbean Group and Silver Seas Cruises will launch the first hybrid-powered class of cruise ships in the industry. The vessels will not just be considerably cleaner to operate than anything currently at sea, the Project Evolution ships will enable the cruise line to be emission-free while in port, something no other cruise line has achieved so far. Although cruise lines are moving towards more sustainable business models in recent years, and many cruise lines operate LNG-powered ships, Royal Caribbean Group will be the first to couple LNG with hydrogen fuel cells as well as battery power. The new ships will operate under the Silver Seas flag within the Royal Caribbean family. Silver Seas' newest class ships is a significant leap forward in the commitment to sustainable ship design, as well as our company's journey to reduce our environmental footprint, said Royal Caribbean Group CEO Richard Fain. And speaking of Royal Caribbean CEO Richard Fain, he's been in the news even more this week as he's finally coming out to say it is time to move beyond the pandemic and look towards the future of cruising. Let's hear a little bit more about what Richard had to say. From CruiseHive.com by Robert McGilvery, Royal Caribbean CEO provides final update on the pandemic. Richard Fain voiced what we've all been thinking for a long time now. It's time to move past the pandemic. In a video update, the chairman and CEO of the Royal Caribbean Group said he believes that although the pandemic is certainly not over, the focus should now be on the future of cruising. Many people, midships included, have said in recent times that cruise ships are now considered to be one of the safest vacation options out there. And for good reason. Ships sail with a large majority of guests fully vaccinated on board. It's one of the reasons why Richard Fain feels we should be looking towards the future and not back to the past. In a quote from Fain, "We at Royal Caribbean will continue to devote stringent protocols to protect against COVID-19. But every conversation doesn't need to be about the virus. We don't need to start every chat with how much we miss going to the theater or to a restaurant. We'll be able to live our lives normally without the face masks and without the panic, and we can do it while cruising." So what does the future hold for Royal Caribbean? Well, demand is certainly up for the cruise industry as well as Royal Caribbean itself. The cruise line has started increasing capacities on board their ships and is investing heavily in environmental solutions as well as advertising. But most importantly for the Royal Caribbean Group is to bring travel agents back into the business. So far, Royal Caribbean has seen online bookings reach higher numbers than before the pandemic. But the personal touch that travel agents offer is something that cannot be beaten. And in Richard Fain's most recent public address, he noted that bookings through travel agents are lower than he would like them to be, and he encourages you to book your next cruise through a travel agent. Well, with November right around the corner, a lot of us are starting to think about Turkey Day, Disney Cruise Line included. Let's hear about a Disney cruise themed float slated for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. From cruiseradio.net by Sarah Bretz, Disney to debut Wish-themed Thanksgiving Day Parade float. On November 25th, Disney Cruise Line's brand new ship float will make its debut in New York City as part of the 95th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The ship has been christened Magic Meets the Seas and is inspired by the style of the line's newest upcoming ship, the Disney Wish, which will debut next summer. During its inaugural parade voyage, the float will carry 15 favorite Disney friends who represent the stories and experiences on the Disney Wish, including Captain Minnie Mouse, who adorns the ship's bow. The entire Macy's parade team is thrilled to welcome Disney Cruise Line to this year's outstanding parade lineup, said Jordan Dabby, the producer of Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Well, I don't know about you, but now I can't wait to drop my turkey in the deep fryer and tune in to watch the Disney Wish float past during the Thanksgiving Day Parade. A few weeks ago, we introduced many of you in the Midships family to a new upscale cruise line from Ritz Carlton Group. Well, their newest ship is out of the dry docks with a fresh coat of paint. So let's take a look at the beautiful new Ritz Carlton Evrima. From cruiseindustrynews.com, Ritz Carlton ship emerges from dry dock with new paint job. The Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection revealed that the new Evrima yacht has emerged from the shipyard in Spain with a fresh coat of exterior paint. Douglas Prothero, CEO of Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection, says, "We are thrilled to reveal the painted exterior hull of Evrima. This milestone marks a significant progress in the outfitting process for our yacht, and we look forward to driving through the remaining phases prior to her launch." The 298 guest ship will sport a signature blue hull, and now should be moving to the final outfitting before she debuts in Europe on May 6th of 2022. Following the unveiling of the painted exterior hull of the yacht, there was an owner's harbor trial, according to the company. And in our last reporting of the vessel, we actually detailed some of the itineraries and the costs involved in getting on board the Ritz Carlton Evrima. It's actually a little bit more attainable than you might think. If you made it this far into today's video, why haven't you subscribed to our channel yet? I know that only about 15 to 20% of you who come back every day to watch have hit the subscribe button. If you appreciate the cruise news that we put out every day for you, would you do us a huge favor and smash the thumbs up button? It doesn't cost you anything, and it is the most important thing that you could do to help support our channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and until tomorrow, we'll see you on the Midships.